Hi there, my name is Emma Shanks and thank you for joining me in my place of work. So I'm going to show you three things that might give you a clue about the sort of thing I get up to. Now, an additional clue is actually the room I'm stood in, which might look a bit odd, and my friend over here. So this is an acoustic test fixture, and the room that I'm stood in, where you've got these funny things on the walls, this is called an anechoic chamber. So I'm deliberately stood in here, but I'm going to show you three separate things. So the first thing I've got for you is a power tool. Now it's a slightly unusual looking power tool, you may not have seen this before. This is a triple-headed scabbler, and what happens is the power source, which is compressed air, goes in this end. This is the lever, so that would be on and that's off. Compressed air goes through here, and at this end the compressed air makes these bits twizzle round and round and up and down, and it's for roughing up smooth concrete in like constructing a tower block or something like that. So I get to play with quite a few power tools of all sorts of different types. Now the other second thing I've got to show you is, it's quite tiny at one end, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. I have got an accelerometer, which is a piece of measuring kit. So this is the accelerometer, which is the silver bit just here. This is a little stand it's screwed to at the bottom, and the cable is where data is sent along. And the data is collected by this. This is a human vibration meter. So I might choose to, well, I would choose to attach this accelerometer to the power tool at a place where it's being held by a person. Now you might think, how would I actually do that? Well, I've got some snazzy bits of kit to do that as well. So that's going to be my third item. It's kind of a little collection of items. So the way that we do that is we use one of these. So this is a tensioning cable tie gun. So a bit like a cable tie with the little ribs on it, and we call that a ratchet cable tie. This one uses tension to get a consistent fix. So we have one of these, which is a cable tie, but it hasn't got any of those ribs on it. We'd wrap that around the handle of the power tool with the accelerometer, so it'll be like this. That's why we have that sort of strange fixture underneath here. And then we tie that onto the handle of the power tool, and we'd use the cable tie gun, which would attach to this end. It's upside down at the moment, but there we go. And we'd then do this, and it would get to, it would tighten the cable tie onto the power tool's handle. What do you think about that? Section 2. So what would I do in my day-to-day job? Well, it can be really varied. So at the moment I'm in the laboratory, so I might be doing some sort of measurements and collecting data and information, and that's because I want to find out something in particular. But I don't always do that here in the laboratory. I might go on to another premises outside of my workplace. So I could be up a scaffolding rig, I could be on a boat, I might be on a construction site, I could be in all sorts of places. I've also been to some military places as well. That's quite exciting. And I'm looking to collect information and data from those sites, and it's to do with people, not just the items. Okay, section 3. Now, have you had enough clues? I'll tell you. I am a noise and hand-arm vibration research scientist, which I know you've probably never heard of. What I'm interested in is how much noise and hand-arm vibration people are exposed to when they're at work. Because there are laws in place that are designed to protect workers from being overexposed to these things. So if you listen to lots of loud music, for example, but in the workplace that might be lots of noise in your working environment, over a long period of time that can actually cause you some hearing damage, and we don't want people to be damaged by that. Similarly, if you use vibrating power tools for a long period of time, and we are talking years and years here for both the noise and the hand-arm vibration, you can develop something called hand-arm vibration syndrome, and that affects how you feel things and how you can touch things with your hands. So it can reduce the blood flow in your hands, it can affect your nerve endings, it might hurt your bones and your muscle structure. And we don't want people to suffer from that either. And I work for the Health and Safety Executive, and I am currently in our research centre, Science and Research Centre, in Buxton in Derbyshire. Okay, section 4. So what would you do to Section 4. What if you want to be like me? Well, I got here through a bit of a lucky route, a bit of chance, and a bit of academia. So I studied to the equivalent of A-level, and I did physics and maths and music and a number of other things. Then I decided that I wanted to go to university, so I actually did a BSc, and I did it in music, acoustics and recording, and it's the acoustics part that I now do for my job. But I really wanted to do music at uni. And then I kind of fell into the acoustics side of thing. So you don't have to follow that route at all. I know plenty of people who are working in the arena of noise and vibration who haven't followed any kind of academic route. They may have joined a construction company with a completely different job, but that company needed somebody to become a specialist in noise exposure. So they've been on the appropriate training courses. That might be a second career for somebody. And there are plenty of professional qualifications that you can do if you choose not to follow an academic route. It's not for everyone. There are things called acoustic apprenticeships now as well. So if you want to follow the apprenticeship route, that is also a possibility. And the way to find out about that is through the Institute of Acoustics. So I hope you've enjoyed finding out a little bit about the sort of thing that I might get up to.